You gotta love how the sun hits that red. Man, that's a beautiful red. Z06. Boom. All right, we'll give you guys a cold start, but before that, let me explain to you what we're doing today, because I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit on my way to this closing. I'm actually headed to Access Title Agency here in Columbus, Ohio. I just sold a property. I'll explain to you which property it was, some of my learnings having owned the property, and some next steps. So this is just me trying to share some experience, because yes, we buy cars on this channel, but yes, we also like to share knowledge on this channel, and some of what has to happen behind the scenes in order for me to be able to afford some of these cars, and some of the things that you see on this channel, because that's what it's really about on Wheel Motivation. So let's get the cold start and let's go. All right, here we go, cold start. All I gotta do is double click this, and it should cold start. Man. Wow. Wow. Oh, there it is. And when Chevy set out to make a supercar, they were not playing around. So there we go. This is what the cockpit looks like in a Z06. Let me put my seatbelt on. Tenant pays for everything pretty much, other than the exterior maintenance upkeep. But they pay the bills. They pay the taxes. They pay the insurance, and they have to pay for the upkeep and maintenance of the building on the inside that they use, and you just collect a check. So that's what's nice about renting out commercial real estate. Sorry for the glare. You guys probably want to see the car anyway. Yeah, so I rented it out for a while, and that worked out. But after about a year or two, I can't remember how long it was. It was about 2 years, I guess. My tenants moved out, and I said, you know what? I'm going to move back in. And I moved back in because I bought another property, and I turned it into an office, but it wasn't zoned correctly, so I had to turn it back into like a residential rental property. Yeah, so I had to turn that one back into a residential. But here's the beautiful thing, and the learning for what we're going through today, selling this property. I'm getting ready to get over $200,000 back in my pocket from a property that all right, where was I, man? All right, the learnings from this property that I'm selling. I bought this property, I used it. I would have been, paying a lease if I had leased a place. I had this place for 20 years. Imagine paying a lease for 20 years, for a business, or even leasing an apartment that you stay in for 20 years. And let's say I was paying $2,000 a month. Man, you know how much that is over 20 years? It's a lot of money. A lot of money. Even $1,000 a month. What's 20 times 12? 240 months. That's 240 grand if I was paying $1,000 a month. Right? So that would have been gone down the drain. But since I purchased the place, I'm getting all my money back plus some. I bought this place for 160 or 180, something like that. And now we're going to get some money, all of our money back plus a little bit more. And I'm going to reinvest that money. So you guys stay tuned for that. But I wanted to share this, activity with you guys, because it's moves like this that allow me to drive some of these toys that I drive. Not that I'm taking the money and I'm, buying a Corvette with it, but if I take the money and I invest it, then I feel a little bit better about when I do buy the Corvette or whatever car it is, that I'm at the same time I'm making moves like this where I'm reinvesting money and I'm having that money grow, and then hopefully the proceeds and the profit from that money as it grows pays for the toys that I purchase. Because for me, it's more about the cost of ownership, because I buy and sell cars pretty quick. So how much does it cost me to own the car at the end of the day when I sell it? The difference between the purchase price and the sales price. All right, so we're headed to the closing office. It's telling me a different direction. I got to make sure I'm going to the right place. Hold on. All right, we just pulled up on the title agency location. So, yeah, so I just got to figure out how to get in there. I've been here once before. This is their new location. So I got to figure it out. I'll take you guys with me. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film, but we'll get a little bit. And we'll continue to talk. So far, this vet has been spectacular. Yep, there we go. How we pay for these toys. Smart moves. Like buying real estate. Some people are saying like you shouldn't buy real estate. It's not a good investment. I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. When you look at the fact that you have to have some place to live. All right, am I in the wrong building? Is this the entrance? 60 feet, 65, 30. All right, let me figure out where I'm going. All right, there we go. Access Title Agency, second floor. Yeah, see, somebody owns this office building and is making bank off of it. There we go. Access Title. So I was just telling folks, for me, it makes much more sense to buy a place that you're going to use than to lease, because of a situation like this. I bought this place 20 years ago, and if I had leased it, I would have moved out and had nothing in return. But because I bought it, I'm moving out, and I'm getting all of my money back plus a return. So any other benefits or things you can think of to kind of just give some knowledge today to folks?
So here's the general break even. This is just a rule of thumb. The general break even is if you're going to be there longer than 5 years, it's better to buy. Mm-hmm. The market will go up, the market will go down, but if you're going to be there 5 years or more, the cost to finance, the cost to close, the cost to everything gets, your break even is 5 years. And that's the same whether it's commercial or whether it is residential. Mm-hmm. Now, on the residential side, obviously you're living there. The cool part about it is you can convert that property over once you're done living there. Let's say you have a child or something like that. You can convert that over then to a rental property and go buy.
That was going to be my argument for less than 5, even if you leave less than 5 years.
Now, on the commercial side, it's a little bit different. If your business is growing fast and you're going to be adding a ton of people and you're going to need more space after 5 years, there's an argument to be had that you sign a lease. Okay. I'm always going to come back to ownership gives you the equity growth. All paying rent is paying someone else's mortgage for them.
Right.
Okay. So,
and in commercial, you got to pay more than the mortgage usually, right?
Yeah. If I have my choice, I'm going to pay my own mortgage. And okay, let's say let's even say you lose a little bit of money. You don't break even. Still, you definitely wouldn't have broken even if you would have rent.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But for those short-term purposes, you're going to live someplace for 1 year. You're going to have a business that's going to outgrow the space in 3 years, yeah, you're better off renting. Okay, there's a whole bunch of gurus out here that talk about rent where you live and own what you rent. They're full of crap.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that either.
Pay your own mortgage, and even if you lose a little bit of money, you're losing less money than you would have if
you rented it.
If you would have just flat out rented it.
Or you just turn it into a rental.
And the other part of it is, I mean, everybody talks about, well, I don't want the maintenance. When you're talking about commercial,
you got to cover that.
You got to cover it anyway. You're doing a triple net lease.
Yeah.
Okay, which means a triple net lease means that you're paying not only the rent, but you're paying the taxes, you're paying the upkeep, you're paying everything on that property, just as if you owned it.
Right.
So why shouldn't you own it?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if you have the wherewithal, a little bit of ingenuity to, like in my scenario, when I got into investing, it was because I would have taken a loss if I sold the property, but I just decided to rent it.
Right.
And now that property has generated, for how many, maybe over 15 years now, it's been generating over $1,000 a month for me. And
from the time I met you until today, that property is up
appreciated.
It's appreciated about 150%.
Yeah.
Not 100 to 150,000. I'm talking 150%, as in 100,000 to 250,000.
Right.
And it's generated your income.
Right. So
along the way.
Yeah, that's why for me it just makes sense to buy. So all right, we got to sign some papers here, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. So we just got done closing on this office property, but we're having a little meeting of the minds on 3 real estate projects we have going on. 2 of them, one of them I call a big house, which is like listed at 1.7 million. The other one will be listed at what?
It'll be in the mid sevens.
Okay, so mid sevens. And then the one small house, this is actually probably the smallest house I own, we have listed for 217 or something like that. 214. And we're talking about strategy to get that one sold, even though that's the one I'm least worried about, because I know that'll just sell when it sells. But Rich just dropped a nugget on us, so why don't you tell them what you told me just now?
Sure. So when you're looking at any pricing on a house, that's just an opinion of value. The market actually determines what the value is. So the little nugget there is that if you get no traffic on the price you put on the house, so you're not getting anybody coming to look at it.
Yep.
That means your price too high. Once you start getting traffic, if you have no offers coming in on the property, once you get traffic into the property, that means the condition doesn't.
Yeah, they saw the house, didn't like it, no offer.
Right.
But if the price was good enough to get them in the door, you'll start getting that traffic. But if the price is bad, too high, then you won't get enough traffic for what the specs on the house are: square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, location.
Exactly.
I love that. Good one. All right, so we just got done with the closing. Just came out. My realtor Rich taking off. And yeah, first drive in the Corvette Z06. I'm gonna say first meaningful drive. Do a quick walk around of the car. And let's fire it up. Cold start. That never gets old. Never gets old. That's when you know it's a supercar. When you get a sound like that. So let's hope the Bluetooth doesn't kick in. Yeah, man, this car is a beast. All right, let's take it for a drive. Man, look at that engine. Shout out to my man Peyton Smith. Anybody know Peyton Smith in Kentucky? Peyton built my engine. All right, let's fire up the car. Well, it's already fired up. We just connect. All right, let's take this thing for a ride. So typically when you're driving a supercar, you put it in first gear by flicking the paddle shifter. But in this one, like I said, we'll do the how to drive video. But this is the first impressions. It kind of has feels, the power band kind of feels like a turbo car. It's not like torquey like a Hellcat, where you got all this torque on tap, you know, like you would have in a Hellcat. It's more, the power kicks in. Let me think. I'm trying to remember which way to go. I'm gonna go down this way. The power kind of kicks in once you hit like 3,000 RPM, almost like as if it was a turbo, man. It's really nice. So I'm in touring mode. One of my first impressions is how smooth it is in touring mode. The suspension is awesome. And if you put it in sport mode or track mode, the suspension stiffens up quite a bit, like significantly. But if you leave it in touring mode, though, it's real comfortable. So I'm gonna go down here and turn right. So yeah, I love the suspension, man. Now I am lowering this car, planning on lowering it. It has factory coilovers, so I'm a little bit concerned about losing some of the comfort that I'm enjoying right now. But I want the car to look really exotic, and when you lower the car, that makes it look really exotic. All right, let's give it a little acceleration. Yeah, that's touring mode exhaust. Let's put it in sport mode. Boom. Hit that one time. So in the 2026 they moved they changed how you get it in the sport mode, or how you change the driving modes. So now you should hear the car a little bit more. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this car. And this 100% is a supercar. Like, I've owned all the major supercars that you can probably think of, from Ferrari to Lamborghini to Porsche to I haven't owned a McLaren, just haven't really gotten the bug to own a McLaren. And after driving Aventadors and Huracans and 911 GT3s and Ferrari 488s and F8s, this is hands down a supercar. Like, the way it drives, the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it sounds. Sound is a big thing. The specs of, what kind of engine is in the car. This 100% is a supercar. And I don't think people are trying to argue that it's not as much anymore, because you just got to recognize the performance. But what I think is the major competitor for this car, which is going to be interesting on this channel, is the GT3, because it's naturally aspirated. It's a high revving engine, right? And I own a GT3. I own a 992 GT3. So I'm going to be driving these cars back to back to see, which one is the better car for what scenario or situation, and ultimately which one is the keeper. And with this being my first drive, I can't give you like my final verdict, but what I can say is it is definitely on par with the GT3. It's not quite Huracan fast, but I haven't broken this car in yet, so the jury's still out. I got walked by a Corvette Z06 with the carbon fiber wheels, 650E. He left me on my Huracan. Now, there's a little bit of a catch to that, because my Huracan was running bad because of some gas or something like that. But he did walk me. Like, there's no doubt in that, and I was surprised. But my car wasn't quite running right in that scenario. But still, it just showed how fast the Z06 is. So So yeah, these cars are really potent. But yeah, my first drive impressions, man. I did take it on a road trip from Kentucky to Ohio, and oh man, I enjoyed the drive so much, man. Driving this thing on the freeway is spectacular. So I want to get around this car, or get from behind this car so you guys can hear the engine. But there's a police station right here we're passing by, but I want you guys to hear it. Sport mode. Sport mode. I feel like this car will get loose, but I keep traction control on when I'm getting to know a car. But eventually I'm gonna be driving this car with traction control off. All right, let's listen to it. Yeah. It has really good traction. But yeah, it sounds good, man. Like, my concern is I've been thinking about, okay, I'm gonna lower it, I'm gonna tint the windows, but I don't have many plans for changing this car. But one thing I thought about doing was the exhaust. Right, this is a factory exhaust right now. Let's put it in track mode so we can hear if it gets a little louder. Listen. Yeah, it's a little louder. It's a little louder. But I thought about, changing the exhaust. But I mean, the stock exhaust sounds really good, and I don't want the car to be overly loud, especially not on the inside. So do I change the exhaust? So one thing to notice is before I hit 500 miles, the red line is 6,500 RPM. Now it will pass that if you push the car too hard, but I haven't really been doing that. But once you hit 500 miles on the car, then that red line will move, I think, to 8,000 RPM. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But basically it raises up so you can feel comfortable revving the engine out. But we haven't broken in the car completely yet, so we're going to stay under that 6,500. It sounds good though. Like, it sounds good, man. I don't know. And I saw them building the car in the factory, and the exhaust system, man, it just looked really well done. It looked like the best designed exhaust out of any car that I've seen. Now, functional wise, my Huracan exhaust, man, that thing, it's kind of big and heavy, but it does the job. Like, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. When you close the valves and you put it in quiet mode, it's super whisper quiet. But when you open it up, it's almost like straight pipe. But it even sounds better than a straight pipe. Listen to this thing, though. Listen to this thing. Sounds good. Yeah, man, I'm enjoying this thing. We're going to have some fun on the channel with this car. And for all of those people out there that support my Corvette videos, I've never had a Corvette video that flopped, that got like really low views. Here we go. To all you guys that like the Corvette videos and the Corvette content, man, you're in for a treat, because I'm enjoying this car, and now I see the light. Like, I see why people are loving this car. So we're going to do a little bit of back roads, I think, here. We'll see here. I gotta turn that off. I think it's going to be beeping with the way I drive. All right, here we go. I don't know, man. It might be good enough, but let me know. I mean, there's one exhaust system that sounds phenomenal that I've been thinking about getting, that will make this car sound just as good as my IPE straight piped GT3, but I mean, it's fairly expensive, and it's going to be louder. It's going to be a lot louder. Here we go. I got to let off at 6,500 RPM, so we're just getting started. But this thing is nasty. It hugs too, man. My boy B Sam's told me, he said, you're gonna fall in love with this guy. He said, I think you're gonna fall in love with it. And I was a little bit doubting him because, like I said, I had drove 2 C8s before, Z06s, and I was like, I don't know, man. It's nice and everything, but I don't know how much I'm gonna like it. Maybe it might be a car that I buy and then I sell it and turn around. And I don't drive people's cars. If it's not mine, I don't drive it like I own it. You know what I mean? I don't drive it like it's mine, where I'm throttling it and really driving it hard. This car is nice though. This car is nice, man. They did a good job with this car. But yeah, I don't drive other people's cars like as if they were mine. I respect their cars. So I never really got into the car and never really got a real good feel of it. But this one, now that it's mine, I don't know, it feels different, man. It feels like everything B Sam's told me is right. Like, I'm falling in love with the car. He said it's hard to beat from a performance and price perspective. So if you look at my GT3, cost me $240,000 used. This car cost me $139,000 brand new. I'm gonna hit it right quick. Yeah, man, yeah. It's nice. I can't wait to see how it feels. Now, one thing I noticed in track mode, the steering is stiffened up quite a bit. That's good. So one of the complaints I had, one of the first impressions I had, let me turn the engine noise down just a tad. I don't know, you guys might be liking that engine noise. I'll keep it there. One of the things I was complaining about though on the freeway drive, I was like, you know what though, it's not that confidence inspiring when you're going fast. Like, I don't know, the steering didn't feel right. But now that I have it in track mode, now it feels, it's real stiff, very stiff, which is perfect for like a high speed. Like if you're on the highway, you want the steering to be kind of stiff so everything is intentional. You don't want it to be real sloppy and loose where you're accidentally, slight moves of the steering wheel at high speeds does not feel confidence inspiring. But with it in track mode, oh man, it's completely fixed. It's completely tightened up. And now I feel like, how my Huracan feels. I think like the Huracan, it automatically stiffens up when you go fast. In the Z06, you gotta put it in track mode, apparently. But yeah, these are my first impressions driving the car, and I am thoroughly impressed. Man, it feels good. Man, it feels good. The acceleration and the throttle, very similar to my GT3. I need to go pick that car up, by the way, at Strada Motorsports or Motorworks. Yeah, these guys be flying around this little curve here. But the transmission, man, it shifts nice and smooth. Here we go. Yeah, this car sounds dope. All right, let's put it back in sport mode. Flick that up. So now it'll shift a little earlier, but still. Now, when you put it in sport mode, I love how it's like kind of incremental. Sport mode, now the steering is a little smoother, a little easier, a little lighter. The transmission's a little less aggressive. It shifts a little earlier. The sound is tamed down just a tad. it's like varying degrees of sportiness until you get to track mode. And then you put it in touring, it gets a little quieter. It shifts into overdrive, to save you gas, like give you good gas mileage. And hey man, you got all these screens. These screens tell you what you can set these screens to just about anything you want. Thoroughly impressed with the car. Thoroughly impressed. Now, one of the things they say when you're breaking it in, don't lug the engine. So that's a case for putting it in track mode. I'll just put it in sport mode. Look at a little animation. Yeah, this car is dope, man. This Z06 is dope. I love the red color. It kind of reminds you of a Ferrari from the driver's perspective, how you got the two arches. They definitely made the Ferrari. If Ferrari was an American car, this is what it would be. This is the American Ferrari. But you get that American priced. Like, my 488 costs me, I think 260 some thousand, 270, something like that. And this car was less than or over $100,000 cheaper. And this car is brand new with the warranty, all the latest technology. Like, you buy a 488, you're not gonna have that big screen right there. You're not gonna have, well, this car doesn't have adaptive cruise control. You got variable dampening. I mean, this car has everything. Like, I think adaptive cruise control is the only thing it doesn't have. I don't think they offer that on a Corvette. But I mean, you do have cruise control. But man, this car is loaded with tech. We'll do a video just talking about the tech on the 2026 Corvette Z06. Look at that. This is sport mode. Yeah, this car is dope, man. This car is dope. But yeah, we got lots of content to come. These are just my first first drive impressions. I did a literal first drive out the not the dealership, but the Corvette museum, and my audio was messed up. So I'll give you guys a little bit of what that looked like, and we'll just put some audio behind it, some music behind it or something, some B-roll. We'll turn it into B-roll so you guys can kind of enjoy that. But yeah, man, my first drive impressions are that this car is spectacular. It's special. I really feel like when you get a Corvette, as much money as you're saving, that makes a good case for buying a new one. If you're coming from like a Ferrari or a Lambo, and you want to try out the Z06 or the ZR1 or the ZR1X, whatever it might be, I feel like you get so much car for the money that kind of justifies getting a new, where you don't have to worry about what somebody else did to the car or how they drove it, right? Yeah, why would you come out when you see this bright red car? Look at this, man. Come on, dang. Jeez. And then like wait to put on the gas, man. Don't be one of these drivers. Goodness. All right, let me calm down. Woosah. We're gonna have a good day today. But yeah, at the price point of this car, you might as well get a new one. And yeah, you don't want to pay over sticker, because that's not, it's not going to be trading for over sticker for, longer than it's hard to get. Once they're easier to get, you're not, you're paying under sticker or at sticker. So I recommend getting it at sticker or under sticker. But getting a new one, I do recommend that. What kind of car is that guy's in? So yeah, this car, Supercar all the way. I like this. I was telling my camera woman, I was telling her that I like this car better than the Revuelto, believe it or not. A lot of people were like, what? That's crazy. The Revuelto Lamborghini V12. I'm like, hey, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. Driving a $700,000 car gives you a certain feeling. Driving a car that is 5 times cheaper, you know what I'm saying? I can get 5 C8s for the cost of a Revuelto. But it's a car at the end of the day that you're going to drive, and you're going to try to enjoy the drive. And I am enjoying this drive just as much as the Revuelto. Now, the Revuelto sounds good as well. It's a little faster, but it's got maybe a little bit more exotic looks if you like that type of thing. But my first impressions is I like driving this better because I know that it's 5 times cheaper than a Revuelto. So if something happens, I'm not that worried about it. You know what I mean? If I had a window rock chip or something in the Revuelto, or I needed a new windshield because of a rock, man, that car might be down for months. Because trying to get a windshield for a Revuelto from Italy, you know, I had to worry about stuff like that. You know, what if I get a truck throws a rock? Whereas this car, if I got a windshield replacement, I bet Safe Light or one of those generic companies would have a Corvette windshield. And if not them, the dealership probably has a million of them. So that goes into the enjoyment of the car, knowing that you don't have to worry as much about something minor happening to it. Like even like B Sam's was scraping his front lip, and he's not even worried about it because it's aftermarket, and it's plastic. He could just replace it for a few $100 if necessary. So it's going to get scraped up when you lower your car. Same thing with this one. Like I got the little lip on the front. It's a plastic piece, but if it scrapes, so be it. It's disposable almost. You know, you get a spare for $200. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this car. So far so good. Hope you guys are enjoying it as well. So here's the footage from my literal first drive in my new 2026 Corvette Z06 3LT. Here with another video on how to turn $7,000 into over $100,000 in one single real estate investment transaction. You'll learn not only how to do flips, but also you'll learn the benefits of buying and holding and owning real estate for the long haul as rental property. So what do you do when you're interested in investing or spending money on something, or spending time, energy, and money on something? You study. You know what? I can buy these houses for cheap prices and then rent them out, make a profit on them, and then it'll just be another business. So if you don't already own a home or own a house, you should buy a house that is a good house that will turn into a good investment. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today we're talking about my advice on the #1 way for you to get started investing in real estate.
It's the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm here to tell you guys to go to Will Motivation. The exotic cars is crazy. I've been watching this show for a little while now, and it's growing. But we need everybody else to subscribe to Will Motivation and support Will. I'm supporting him. You do the same.